Hola guys and girls and welcome to a new Digimon TCG deck tech video, deck profile, however you call it. And this time we are going to look at my variant of Red Omnimon Turbo. So yeah, this deck, as the name already suggests, is about Omnimon. And of course, if you play Red Omnimon, you have access to both variants. The regular Omnimon we already know from 1.0 and of course Omnimon Alter S from 1.5. So this is the big reason you want to play Red Omnimon Turbo compared to Blue in 1.5. So yeah, of course, just having 15k DP, great when Digibuff effect for one, destroying, just removing one, and then being able to attack twice. Or in case of Alter S, de-Digibuff everything, remove a lot on the board with 5000 DP or less, and get unblockable on attacking potentially. So yeah, these are the big boss monsters we want to get on the field and then put a lot of pressure on the opponent. As you can see, I play as 2-2 split, but I will talk about the variant I played in my last tournaments, which went pretty well, I have to say. Like, I went to 4 tournaments, and in 3 of them I went into the top 4 with only 1 loss. The other tournament I went 2-2 in the end. So yeah, overall I'm very happy with this deck, performed pretty well for me. And yeah, cannot say it's probably, as of now, I think it's the strongest deck for me, at least, since there's no like instant bad matchup. Omnimon has a chance versus everything. And some good matchups, of course, as well. For example, versus green and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that this variant I'm talking about right here will be the one I played in the tournaments. But I am thinking about stocking up to 3 Omnimons and cut some other stuff. But I will talk about that once we get to that point. But yeah, let's start from the bottom as usual and start with our tamas. And of course, we have 5 there in total. And we play 4 times, of course, the one which gives us the most reliable boost, which is the Digimon from 1.5. As you can see, it has ineligible while there are 2 more cards in your opponent's trash. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Usually, in the mid game, it's very easy to enable this boost, allowing all of our mostly level 6ers to be able to reach 13k to get all the other 12k Digimon, and of course our Omnimon to be stronger than opponent Omnimons, which won't be able to get over 15k in their own turn. And then our 5th Tamer is just the quarterman, which as well gives us the plus 1000 boost once we are level 6. So this of course is enabled on every level. If there's enough in the trash, this is only at level 6 or higher with the 4 devolution sources requirement for the boost. But yeah, very straightforward. Our Tamas just make us stronger, which is what Red does best basically. So let's get to the rookies. I play there 14 in total, which is my preferred ratio of rookies to make sure I always have one hand, at least starting hand. And yeah, overall to have enough rookies and get your free draws going. And yeah, we started with, of course, the best one, which is 4 times the Agumon, which has a straightforward inheritable. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So as I already mentioned, we make sure that our Digimon are strong enough to attack the security, survive, and get over opposing Digimon. And Agumon just enables it very easily. Free cost to play, 0 cost to evolution, 2000 DP. So a little bit stronger than the green Agumon, which has the same inheritable effect. But yeah, it's just Agumon from the starter deck for you. Next up, we do have 4 times the 2-cost rookie of choice. Of course, we have 2 options there. I could play Biomon. I decided to go with Monodramon. For some reason, I will go over later, but they're straightforward. 2-cost rookie, no inheritable. It's just, if I need a 2-cost play and just want to put the body on the board, these 2-cost rookies are the way to go. I only play 4 though, and in some decks I like to play more, because some colors, of course, have access to more than 1 2-cost rookie. I mean, do we have all colors that at this point? I don't know. But yeah, just straightforward. It's the 2-cost rookie. Not too much to talk about. We play 4 of those. And then we play 2 rookies 3 times. For 1, we play 3 times the Gilmon, which has the same inheritable effect as the Digimon, with if there are 5 or more cards in the trash, opponent's Digimon gets, or your Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So another boost in Digimon. It's a weaker variant than Agumon, because obviously there's no requirement there. It does have 1000 DP more than Agumon, but that basically never comes into play. So there's like the basically we have 7 pseudo Agumons in total with the 4 Agumons in the list, just to make sure that we always have at least 1 boost going on our Digimon, preferably 2 or even more potentially there. And then last up, we got 3 times the Biomon from 1.5, which has the on-deletion effect. If it's your turn, gain plus 1 memory. And that's the reason why I don't play the 2-cost Biomon, because obviously if I play too many of the same name, potentially an Omnimon could just wipe them all out, because they all are Biomons. So that's basically the only reason I play Monodra instead of Biomon, because I already have Biomons in this. And yeah, pretty straightforward. This is basically an investment. You play 3 instead of 2 for like a hard play rigger, for example, but then you have the 1 memory a turn later potentially when this thing gets deleted, and this memory can mean win or loss. And yeah, I like it's a rather late addition to the squad. At first I had the 2-cost Biomon there, 2 of them, and then 4 times the Gilmon. But this is where you can play around with, like you could go with only 2 of those and 4 Gilmon instead, something like that. But I like 3, because the 1 memory definitely helped me a lot. Especially if the opponent wants to memory choke me, it gives you the 2 memory to go to Phoenixmon and then go to Omnimon the same turn potentially. So yeah, you have to remember though, this only applies in your turn. So if the opponent kills that, no memory gain is happening. So it's a bit more restrictive in that regard. But yeah, that's Biomon for you. These are my 14 rookies. Now going over the level 4 stage. This is probably the most standard, there's nothing much to talk about. We play three different level 4s, 4 times the total, so 12 total level 4s. And we play 4 times Dr. Geronimo because obviously it's a 1-cost evolution in red. We want to get to our level 7 or 6 as fast as possible. So of course we play the cheapest possible, 4 of those, very straightforward. The 6000 DP is nice as well, with potentially 2 boosts we can get over that with Digimon and then Agumon or Gilmon. It's 8000 DP, so it gets over every blocker in the game, barring some of the level 6 blockers. But yeah, that's Dark Omnimon for you, not too much to talk about. Then probably my favorite level 4, but pretty standard as well, is of course 4 times the starter Greymon, which has the awesome inheritable effect that you get Security Tech +1, and it's just insane in this deck. With this and some other cards, you can basically always make sure to check more than 1 security in attack, which helps a lot, especially with aggressive decks, where they attack already with their weaker Digimon, like be it Rookie, be it level 4, or something like that. We have to, of course, wait till we Digivolve a few stages before we start attacking. And this can make sure that we catch up very fast with them, like on the security comparisons, since we do check multiple once we're attacking, while they, of course, usually only check 1. And yeah, that's Greymon for you. Only 4000 apiece, so be scared of stuff like Alta S and Volcanic Drummond, of course, but yeah, Greymon, probably the best level 4 in this deck. And then, as per usual for slower decks, like this one, is of course we play 4 times the blocker, because, oh, that's only 3 blockers, there's the 4th one. Pretty straightforward, we play the quarterman from the starter set. It's our blocker of choice, just helps us buy time versus aggressive decks, helps us to not die to something, like it stops an attack. And yeah, that's the quarterman blocker for you. Pretty straightforward level 4 line up, that's probably the most standard. You can see like the rookies you can play around with, but if you play 12 level 4s, these are the ones you will have to see, or will have to use most likely in the Red Omnimon deck. But yeah, next up to level 5, we play total of 9 there. 9 level 5 Digimon, and of course, since we are a deck which focuses on getting to level 6 or even level 7 with Omnimon, we do play 4 times the Ground Dramon. Has very cheap evolution cost of only 2, and of course the hard play cost of 5. It's very nice. It's very easy to just slap this on the ground and be like, yep, I already have my level 5, because if you compared, you don't lose that much memory if you would evolve into that, and you would save a few turns, of course, for the cost of giving a lot of memory to the opponent, because if you start with level 4, which is most of the time a Greymon or a Quartermon, of course sometimes Dark Omnimon, and then for 2 a Ground Dramon on that, so it costs 4 in total, potentially 3 of course. So yeah, it's only a little bit more expensive with 5, but you just slap it on the board and then it's already ready, there we go, to yeah, receive one of your level 6 Digimon and then an Omnimon from there. So yeah, pretty straightforward with Ground Dramon. Nothing too much to talk about there. Then we play 3 times the other 2-cost evolution card in red, which is the Lavogaritamon. Some decks like to play more of them. I like 3. I like the Ground Dramon. I think it's more important due to the hard play potential of that. But the 8000 DP is super nice for 1 in security, because it stops basically every other level 5 or such Digimon. And with 8000 DP and potentially some boosts, like with Agumon and Gilmon and stuff like that. And the Greymon under that, which gives Security Tech +1, it gives you a very reliable level 5 attacker already to start checking security, because if you're at 9 or 10,000 TP, only the level 6 Digimon are going to be strong enough to kill you in security. Everything else is too weak, and you can very safely attack with that. Of course, depending on what the opponent has on board, because if you're open to be attacked, if you're suspended and the opponent can just attack on it, you lose a lot of progress in your evolution line. But very nice tool to, especially with more aggressive decks, to just keep swinging at security already at level 5 and don't have to wait till level 6. And potentially even check multiple, since Greymon's security effect, extra security tech does trigger on level 5 already. But yeah, that's Lavogaritamon, and then that's more of a special tech for my taste. This is probably the most contested one. I do play 2 times the Duramon, which has the inheritable effect. If you're at level 7, this Digimon gains security tech +1. So in this deck, once you are at Omnimon, you gain security tech +1. Because what I noticed, especially with like regular Omnimon, looking at this one here, it can attack twice. So in addition to its Digivolve effect, it exerts a lot of pressure on the opponent since it will attack twice. It will check 2 security at least, potentially even more with like Greymons under it, or potentially Duromon. You can just go for game with that. But with Alter S, he has a great Digivolve effect, like wiping the board potentially, but just being unblockable and checking 1 security is not really that threatening to the opponent most of the time. So making sure that this guy has security attack +1, be it through a Greymon or with a Duromon, just raises this to a threat level of over 1000 from like threat level 80%. Now it's like the opponent has to deal with it immediately, or he might just lose the game. Since if you get unblockable with multiple security checks, that's most of the time the deciding play for win or lose. So with these 2 Duromon, I just make sure that my level 7s have security attack +1, because I have the Greymon 4 times, I have 2 times the Duromon. That's 6 Digimon in total. I just increase my chances to make sure that my Digimon have security attack +1, even potentially security attack +2, since Duromon and Greymon of course stack if I have both of them on the same Digimon. And having a free cost evolution card is pretty nice as well if there's some memory choking happening, because if all of your evolution costs are 1 or 2, it's very easy for your opponent to just keep memory choking you, and you're not getting much value out of that, since he puts you to 1, you play something for 2, he gets back to 3 memory due to a tamer, and you just play this ping pong game of always playing something for 2 memory costs, and him giving him full value out of his free cost tamer. So I like having more digital cost option there as well, and yeah, Duromon helps in that regard too, but mainly it's this extra security. But yeah, that's Duromon. Now for our level 6 slot, I play 7 there in total, and first of all we play 3 times the Phoenixmon. As talked later earlier already, we want to get as fast as possible to our level 6 or higher. 2 cost evolution cost, very nice there, just makes sure that we can get very cheap to our level 6 Digimon. And yeah, 12,000 CP of course potential boost and security tags. This can win games on its own already. And yeah, not too much to talk about there. Some people play 4. This is something I'm thinking about as well. Like I said, I'm thinking about editing the deck a little bit, and stocking up Phoenixmon to 4 is definitely one of the things I'm thinking about. In addition to putting 1 more Omnimon in, I will talk later what I would put out of the deck for that. But in the tournaments I played with 3 Phoenixmon, so that's what I'm going to show you here. And then next up we do have 2 Blitz Greymon and 2 Volcanic Dramon as our next level 6 Digimon. And why I'm showing these together, because this is kind of a meta call on how you want to distribute those. Volcanic Dramon, of course, very good with Rookie Rush, very good with aggressive decks which like to spread out on the board and just kill everything there. Blitz Greymon, great versus decks which like to get to high levels, similar to ours, and then go with the big boss level 6 Digimon and do something there. But what I noticed is that even if a face decks where Blitz Greymon potentially is the Digimon you want, because you do want to Digivolve like the level 5 or level 6 deck down to level 4 or something like that. If the people play versus Red, they often like to Digivolve their Digimon safely in the breeding area. And then Blitz Greymon is just kind of a liability, because 4 cost evolution sometimes is pretty bad because you play that, and you sometimes need to wait for an Omnimon because you play that, you don't really have a good target, it's opponent's turn, now he goes to his big boss monster, boom, you have to put an Omnimon there. If you don't have Omnimon, that gets kind of troublesome. So like I said, this is kind of a meta call on you might want to play 3 Blitz Greymon, only 1 Volcanic Dramon, you might play 3 Blitz Greymon and maybe, or like only 1 Volcanic Dramon and more Phoenixmon, something like that. Like I said, the level 6 distribution I have right here, which is 3-2-2, is kind of a meta call. At first I had only 1 Volcanic Dramon and had a 3-3 split on those. But like I said, I was facing a lot of aggro decks and Rookie Rush, and that's why I switched to 2 Volcanic Dramon, because I just thought it's overall better. But like I said, I'm thinking about increasing number here on 1 more Phoenixmon. I keep these 2-2 split, but I want to put 1 more Phoenixmon in the mix. Because Volcanic Dramon, of course, is usually Mega you want to hard play. It's not as great. Barry gets some boosts on that with like Gigimon and Argomon. It gets to 12,000 DP. Security Tech +1 is nice. You can check a lot of security with this guy with the proper inheritables. But with only potentially 12,000 DP, of course he dies to most of the other level 6 Digimon you face. With a Shine it's nice, but with everything else, it's kind of a liability of only 10,000 DP. But yeah, this is my level 6 lineup. We already talked about my level 7 lineup. Like I said, 2 split Omnimon there. I'm thinking about spreading it out to another Omnimon, because most of the games I lost are because I didn't get my level 6 Digimon, or I didn't get my Omnimon. One of the two were the main reason I lost, I want to say. Like of course you always lose some to Brick, You some lose to security luck, you lose some because of misplays. But the one I felt where I could do the easiest something against is the loss I had because I didn't get to Omnimon or I didn't drew into my level 6. So that's why I want to increase my chances there on putting in one more Phoenixmon and one more Omnimon. And what I put out there is the card I will show you right here, which is I do play 2 Gaia Forces because it's red. Gaia Force is pretty nice. It's insane in security and in hand can come in very handy as well. But most of the time, I used this card, I actually felt like it was a liability in hand. I was just hoping for it to be in the security, because having this card in hand is like, yeah, it's nice, it can come into play, but most of the time it's a dead card. In most scenarios, you want to wait for your, you want to have a high level threat to remove with Gaia Force, because otherwise paying 8 to remove a rookie or level 4 is not really worth it. And if you have the time, if the opponent needs the time to Digivolve high so you can remove it with Gaia Force, it's very likely that you will be Digivolved as well at this point. And you can remove it for way cheaper, with way more value, by for example going into an Omnimon or going into a Blitzgreymon. And that's why I felt Gaia Force, barring it's in security, that's insane, no way to argue about that. In hand, it's like, I rather had an Omnimon there, or something else. So that's why I'm thinking of cutting all my Gaia Forces in general out of the deck. But that's more of my personal experience, my personal taste. Of course, some people play 4 of them, which I don't understand, because then you're basically just begging for them to be security. But yeah, like I said, Gaia Force, I played 2 of them. They did win me games. They made sure I did not lose some games. But in some games, they were a liability and made me lose the game as well, because they were in hand, forced me to play a lot of memory just to not lose, and then the opponents just came back and I lost from there. So yeah, maybe I just cut 1 for an Omnimon and keep the level 6 ratio. I don't know yet, that's something I will have to experiment about. But I am thinking about cutting Gaia Force in total. So that's just, I want to let you know, so that's something you might want to think about as well with this deck. And then at last, of course, we do play one of the 3 cost tamer, or not, it's 4 cost tamer, but which gives us the free memory every turn. We do play 2 times the tie. Important thing to notice, of course, the thing which gives us Security Tech +1 only applies to red Digimon. Our Omnimons are white, so of course they will not gain Security Tech +1. But with our Phoenixmon, with our Blitzgreymon, and not so much Volcanic Drawmon, more so Phoenix and Blitz, since they have 12k already, and it's very easy to get at least 1 boost onto them to get into 13k, it's very easy to just check a lot of security with them already on level 6 and exert a lot of pressure and then go to Omnimon and basically seal the deal. That's why I like him a lot. This is a card you might want to think to push up to 3 as well, because memory choking, if the opponent has a 3 cost tamer, which happens a lot versus Shining Greymon and a lot versus Imperatormon, because they play a lot of the 4 cost tamers, be it Davis or TK. Getting memory choked is probably the biggest weakness of the deck, and that's why you might want to step it up to 3 or something like that. But like I said, that's more of a meta call, I want to say. So depending on what you face a lot, you might want more tamers, but I run with 2, and for now, I will keep it at 2, but that's something I was thinking about in the deck, increasing my number of tamers. But yeah, that is the whole deck in total. Of course, let me know what you think about the comments, what you think about the changes I'm thinking to do. Like I said, increase the number of Omnimon, which is more standard, I have to say. Like, praying for more Omnimons is the most... I'm more of the off one with having only 4 Omnimon. But I was thinking, okay, I'm in blue, you only played 4, and do I really want to play more and just brick? But if I cut out Gaia Force for another Omnimon, then like if I can't Digivolve, Gaia Force is as much as a brick as an Omnimon, so I thought, okay, that change won't hurt me too much. But yeah, that's my deck. Of course, like I already said, let me know in the comments what you think about the deck. Let me know, yeah, what you would change. Like, what do you think about the changes I suggested right here? But that's all from me. I will see you another time. Ciao.